Elliot, welcome. This is Mike Kublin in the Whacky Workplace. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Nice to have you too.
And thank you, Elliot, for being part of this process. I wanted to ask you a question. Have you ever had a observation of what maybe, you've been working now out in the workplace for a few years, and I know you're in the real estate field. Have you ever had any observations of what you would consider wacky, and how did it leave you as the respondent to the Whacky Workplace in terms of being able to adjust to it, adapt to it? What kind of experience did you have with it?
Well, my experience is a little unique. I work in mostly a 1099, which is a commission-based job where everything is based off of performance. And I did have a couple of experiences that I've been through that I learned from. Obviously, being in the workplace for a little bit, I had a specific time where I had been in a company, and this was a very prestigious company, and I had the opportunity to work with two brokers or two salespeople that would have me on their team. And when we had sat down, we talked out a deal and negotiated the terms of the responsibility of each of the team members. And at the time, because I was still a little bit newer, some of the legal definitions was a little bit hard for me to understand. So on the contract paper, a lot of things was promised, a lot of golden things, I would say. A lot of these little gems that you would be able to pick out of a contract would make you really convinced that these guys could really help you. And so when I had decided to join with them, the first couple of weeks, went by well, and I went way, 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 way above what I was supposed to do to help my team members. And long story short, I had a transaction that was my own lead, my own client, and I had asked for the help of my senior, team members, and that's what I had gotten this entire game for. I knew that day was the day that I needed them. That the entire time I was with them, that day was the time that they would be able to give back to help me when I needed it. So at the same day, I had called to set up a meeting between 4 people, and the client, the 2 brokers, and myself, confirming everything together. And when everything was confirmed, and at the time that we were supposed to meet up, my team members didn't show up.
Oh shoot!
My team members didn't reply their cell phones. My team members didn't do anything. And so at that time, obviously, I was upset. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. But long story short, I was able to pull the transaction through, and I closed it without the help of the two team members. And what had happened, because it was a very prestigious corporation, as per the contract, it was said that I would have to split off any deals that was, quote unquote, the exact word was, a lead that is provided by either party. And so, to the very technical aspect of it, I provided the lead. They declined my lead when they didn't show up. They declined my lead when they non-verbally had said no. And when this had happened, it put me in a very tough spot, because after I had closed the deal, these 2 team members came back and tried to fight for their part of the commission, which was not deserved. And so it became a huge fiasco. And I remember one time I was in the company and I was thinking, is it more important to service your clients, or is it more important to have to take care of office politics? See, I started getting, instead of thinking about what's the best way I can help my client, I started wasting my energy thinking about what I needed to do in order to get myself out of this situation. And at the end of the day, I decided to leave the brokerage. I decided to leave the business. And it has come out to be one of the best lessons that I have ever learned. But I also feel like it has been one of the biggest losses that the company has. You know, it's so easy. I hear from one of my good mentors had once told me that there's only one thing that trumps experience, and that's potential.
Wow.
But the potential has to be realized, and it has to be treated in a very fair way so that whoever has that potential will want to work harder, will want to work better. Because chances are, if you get somebody that has a lot of potential, they will already go out of their way from the beginning to try to help whoever they can. And this is just all part of diligence and a part of personality. And so, you know, after all that fiasco had happened, I actually recently went through another experience where I was invited by another business owner to go to their meeting place. And this owner of the business didn't even, I could tell that he wanted to recruit me, but he didn't say anything. He invited me in there for an afternoon on a Sunday. This was a Sunday, to go and learn. And I said, sure. I went in there, and it was a masterminding session where 4 agents, and these are 4 incredible agents that bounce ideas off each other. And I've learned so much from that meeting in the 3 hours than I ever did this entire time with this large, prestigious company.
Wow.
And it's so crucial because it's so crucial because there's so much potential, but it's so funny how the feeling that I get from a different leader being able to effectively, how do you say, communicate the right words to whoever has the potential. You know, it's so powerful because when you can see the genuine of people, it creates a healthy business. And healthy business is the only way you can achieve a long-term business.
Wow.
And you know, and so after all that's happened, this is my experience, and definitely nothing. I don't regret anything because it had been one of the best lessons I've ever had.
Oh my gosh.
That's the
I will tell you, Elliot, that is so awesome hearing that because what an education you had because you were paying attention. And I can't believe that the guys didn't show up yet. You had to split the commission with them as well. Unbelievable. Or they at least fought for that.
Yep, I did.
Great, great, great story.